Ashton, would it be fair to say that this young fella is no one-hit wonder?
No, he's fantastic. I thought, how entertaining was it last night? It was great to see him and Phil Hughes, two young Australians playing like they did, the real Australian way. They were loose and they were smiling and playing real aggressive cricket. So, Ashton Agar, he's probably exceeded his expectations, but I expect that he will have a great career going forward.
A master stroke on behalf of the selectors, do you think?
Oh, it's a great selection. I said it yesterday morning actually before the game. I thought, he'll do a great job. He's such a great package, and that's why he was so attractive to West Australian cricket last year, because not only is he a fantastic bowler, but he can field and he can obviously bat. And he's a great person to have around. So he's a great package, and you would say an inspired selection, yeah.
What did you think about him coming out at number 11?
Well, if you ask the other tail enders, they wouldn't have thought it anything less that it'd be any other way. I mean, if you talk to Siddle and James Pattinson and Mitchell Starc, they probably won't like to see this young punk batting so well, because he might take their spot. But when knowing as we do how good a player he is, certainly there's some comfort there knowing he's coming in so far down the order.
I remember standing here last summer when he just played those really good innings for the Warriors, and we're saying, how good his bowling's been, but he's an all-rounder. He's not just a bowler.
Yeah, as I I've said the whole way, he's like one of the old West Indian batsmen. He's very like his bowling and his fielding, and that's the most attractive thing about him as a player. He's so loose and he's so relaxed. It's very rare to see young players now that are like that. They tend to be so coached and so mechanical. I guess because of the professional world we're in, everyone gets very coached. I remember Sir Donald Bradman saying in a letter to me, he'd never become a slave to coaching, and he certainly hasn't done that. So he's loose, and that'll help him in all facets of his game, as we're seeing now.
There was no weight of expectation on him last night. Now there will be. Can he handle that?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. In fact, there's been a question asked a lot, but I'd rather a guy come in and get 98 or 100, and I hope he gets some wickets in the second innings. We must remember he was selected to take wickets as a spin bowler, so I hope he gets some wickets in the second innings, and it'll be great for him. I think it's more a positive than a negative. Yes, there will be expectation, but there's expectation when you're playing cricket for Australia. There'll be expectation, but he now knows he can do it at this level, and in the end of the day, that's probably the toughest thing for a young guy coming into international cricket, is wondering whether they're good enough, and everyone's got their insecurities. He knows he's good enough now, so if everything from here will be another bonus.
How high up the order can he bat?
Oh, look, I've said since day one I think he'll be a really good all-rounder, so who knows. I mean, in the current Australian cricket team, it's likely he'll probably stay at 10 or 11, because Peter Siddle's been outstanding over the last 12 or 18 months with the Australian cricket team with the bat. James Pattinson's got huge potential with the bat. Mitchell Starc won't like me saying this, but he might kick Mitchell Starc out of there, but look, who knows, he could be a 5, 6 or 7 in the years to come.
You mentioned that he reminds a bit of the West Indies and whatnot. Is there anybody in particular that strikes you as a comparison there?
I always thought, and I said at this same park last year, Clive Lloyd or Roy Fredericks. If you look at the way Clive Lloyd used to bat, he was so loose, and he's a big man, and Ashton Agar's a big tall guy as well. So, I mean, the thing about I've said about all batsmen in the past, if they're like his arms are like a hose in a swimming pool, and all great athletes, if you think about it, they're really loose, and if you put a hose in the swimming pool, they can move. That's why he was able to play through the leg side, play through the offside, play the hook shots, hit back over the top, so he could hit along the ground over that, because he's so loose. So, and that was the same as the Calypso cricketers that we used to love when we were kids, because that's what they used to do. They could hit the ball both sides of the wicket, they could go aerial, they could hit the ball on the ground. So, and that's always exciting.
What were you thinking when he was on 98? Did you think he was going to get there?
Well, I must admit, it wasn't great camera work, was it? Because when he hit that push in front of square leg, I mean, that's the greatest shot of all time. And then to be caught at deep mid-wicket off, that was stiff. Maybe great captaincy, you could say, but when you first hit it, I thought, mate, that's the greatest way to bring up 100 of all time. So it was disappointing, but in the end of the day, a lot of people have said, there was a real spring in the steps of the Warriors cricketers this morning, which is a great thing. But they said, oh, he didn't even look disappointed. But yeah, he just got 98 in a test match, batting 11, broke every record. His life will never be the same again. So, it would have been nice to get 100. But in the end of the day, he woke up yesterday morning, or 2 days ago, or a week ago, saying he'd get 98 in a test match. You'd take that every day of the week. So he's got a beautiful style about him, great character and great personality. So he'll take it. He'll stay grounded and. Like I say, hopefully he'll get some wickets in the second innings.
Just on that, how do you feel he's bowled so far, and do you think there's a wicket far away?
Oh, I think so. In fact, I think it's one of the great challenges of this test match for Australia. My gut feeling is it's going to start spinning. Graham Swann's obviously a world-class spinner, and it's always hard chasing runs in a test match. It's probably the hardest thing in the game, actually. So Australia are going to be really challenged in the second innings. Graham Swann, they're going to have to play him very well. Hopefully their experience in India on the last tour, although a tough experience, will hold them in good stead for that. But yeah, day 3, I reckon it's going to spin, and hopefully Ashton, I'm sure, as much as he loves scoring 98, I'm sure 1 or 2 wickets, test wickets, will probably mean more to him than 98 runs.
And lots of positives to take out of Agar and Guzzi Smith in terms of their bat batting. But was it a concern to see the middle order, top of the middle order, not put up much of a fight?
Yeah, it's always really hard to bat in the top order in England. The ball swings around, and I thought James Anderson's right on top of his game at the moment. He's a magnificent bowler. So that's going to be in my opinion, that's going to be the biggest challenge of the whole series, how our top order bats. If we can lay a good foundation, or a strong foundation, I think we'll be fine. And that's why I think Alistair Cook, getting him out early tonight, or day 3, is going to be critical. He's a run machine, he's the captain, and he's laying a strong foundation. So if we can do that, then I think we'll have a really good Ashes campaign. It's going to be a good challenge for the boys.
And what do you make of the new batting lineup?
From last night, it's exciting. I mean, they've got some kids in there. It's very important that now they've got Chris Rogers, Shane Watson, Michael Clark, of course, and Ed Cowan, senior players. I like the fact they're at the top of the order and letting the kids do what they do down the order. So they're both, Phil Hughes, Steve Smith, aggressive batsmen, and then to slot in just in front of Brad Haddon and with experience at the top of the order. That's how I think it should be. So yeah, I think it looks pretty good.
Just back on Ashton, how special can you be?
Oh, you never like to make predictions, do you? And I'm not one for making grand predictions about Ashton Agar, but I've said since day one, I love the way he goes about his business. He's the most natural young cricketer I've seen for a very long time, and as long as he just stays loose and he keeps smiling, he's got a huge future ahead of him.